Hey, I'm Leah Haygood. I grew up at Brushy Creek. I had been here for the first 27 years of my life, and I was born and raised here.
My name is Megan Cole. I grew up at Brushy Creek, and I was here pretty much every time the doors were open growing up.
And I think a lot of people can relate to my story of not having anything dramatic, but still having problems. People pleasing and perfectionism are some of my top two struggles that I have. And I can remember it starting at the age of 5, trying to earn the approval of the kids in my classmates or trying to be the best student. And while those are good things, I was relying my worth and my happiness on whether or not I could achieve those things.
My two main challenges that I work through are codependency and eating disorders. My eating disorders vary. Most of my life it's been binge eating disorder, and I feel like the church kind of doesn't want to talk about that because it's something that a lot of us deal with, and food is uncomfortable.
Slowly but surely over time it snowballed. It got to the point where I didn't know how to say no. It was very difficult for me to set boundaries with people. As a codependent, which means you're an enabler, you're a people pleaser, you're either the doormat or you're trying to fix everybody.
I got up to 340 pounds. Encompass that with being in an abusive marriage. That was really hard.
That's not sustainable. I can't do that, or else I'm going to end up losing who I am as a person and not walking with the Lord because I'm so concerned of pleasing others than pleasing God.
I was binging in secret again. I was miserable. I felt like I had no control over the situation, over my body, over my life at all. And I just remember praying and crying, I want out, but I don't know what to do. Through the help of CR and people who love Christ in my life pouring into me and pointing me back to Him, I was able to step away from that abusive marriage, step out of my codependency, seek healing from that, and then seek healing for my body.
CR, all it is the gospel put into recovery. Now I'm at the point in my recovery and in my walk with the Lord that I can identify when I'm doing either one of those things, and I know that that's like my reset button of saying, okay, whose approval am I trying to get, and did they ask for my advice? And then I move forward from there.
The more time that you spend working on yourself with God, walking with Him, the more that separation between fear and hope gets.
I think there are a lot of struggles that each one of us has that we don't look at it as one of the big sins, as one of the things that's so evident. With drugs and alcohol, it's very obvious the way you live your life. But someone who may struggle with anger or enabling somebody, being a codependent, those things are almost accepted or kind of brushed under the rug.
We all look good on the outside. I mean, especially if you've grown up in church, people put on a great face, but if you've lived more than 5-10 years on this earth, you know pain.
If we all believe that we're born with sin, then we all have problems. Some of them are just a lot more public. Some of them are much more detrimental to our physical health, to our mental health. But we all need a place to share what's going on.
I am walking with my head held high because I know whose I am and who brought me out of that horrible situation. And I have confidence for the first time in my life, not just because of the weight, but because my confidence is in God and seeing how He has worked my story from a tragedy to triumph.
I got saved at the age of 7, but God really didn't become real and a priority for me till I was about 18, which happens to coincide around the time that I started Celebrate Recovery. And I think now with CR, it just reminds us that we have hope, and hope brings peace.
I've had the pleasure of seeing all throughout the years it changed people's lives, from addicts to people who struggled with porn to people who just had pain. Transformed. It's for everybody.
It's just a group of people who knew they needed a savior, who had some bumps in the road, and it doesn't matter what those bumps look like. CR's for you.